That's The Last Goodbye. In fact, that song was our first introduction to the singer-songwriter Jeff Buckley, whose album Grace crept up on us last year, grabbed hold of our hearts and our CD players, and hasn't really left either since. Jeff Buckley began his first and sellout Australian tour last night. He joins us in the studio now at Triple J. Great to meet you, Jeff. Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome. Did you enjoy yourself last night?
Yeah.
Yep.
It sounds like... can you hear me?
Mm-hmm, I can hear you. Can you not hear yourself?
I can hear myself.
Those headphones, are they too loud, too soft?
No, everything's terrific. It just sounds like I'm HAL 9000 from 2001. Stop, Dave. Just weird thing happening. Anyway, yeah, it was
No, you
amazing.
sound good to me. It might be because you haven't been to bed yet.
No. Well, I was in bed from 10 to 10:15, and then I got out my wake-up call.
Oh, I know. This is a hell of an hour for a musician, but, you know, them's the breaks. You've been on the road for long?
Year and a half.
A year and a half, really. We spoke to you when you were in Japan. Do you enjoy touring?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I'm pretty well suited to this life, I think. It's it's very transient and adventurous, and there's a lot of waiting and wasted time, but I just, since I think too much anyway. I mean, obviously, I just read an interview that I did, and I obviously talk too much. So I must be thinking too much. So
it's just that people are asking you so many questions. That's what I think the pressure must be.
Well, a lot of the same questions. And since I've answered them so much, I just go off and off and off on a huge rhapsody of nothingness. But, God, my voice is deep.
Hello?
It is.
Hello. I don't usually sound like this.
Well, I'm not surprised.
I sound like a man.
You do sound like a man.
Yeah.
And you are a man.
I woke up a man.
Incredible.
I went to bed a boy and I wake up a man.
Yeah, I know.
What's the favourite place so far on the tour, Jeff?
Let's see. In the U.S., New York, Memphis, Lawrence, Kansas, Seattle, San Francisco.
These are all American
Los
cities.
Angeles.
I thought you were
Right.
going to tell me something
And
in
then
Japan.
Japan is...
You're sounding like Orson Welles.
I know.
Do you want to get it out of your system?
It's
You want
in
to
my
make
throat.
a
I can't help it.
You want to make a speech or something?
Japan. Japan.
Japan was a crazy, weird, wacky kind of town. It was it was all quite an adventure. But in Europe, Paris, Cologne, Amsterdam, Italy. Oh man, we played in a place, Careggio, in Italy. It was the weirdest gig we ever did, and the reason why was it was at an open air festival.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing was, at a festival you have like thousands of bands and sit there for like 7 hours and get a sunburn.
Yeah.
But this one started at 4, and we were the only band there. The whole thing was just us. So the festival starts in the daytime, and then everybody like gets fooded up and beered up, and then they come and see the band. And one thing, it was in Italy. It was gorgeous, and the people were gorgeous, and the food was great. The other thing was that we didn't know this until we got there, but we were actually raising money for the Communist Party.
Oh, really?
So that was an
Nice
added
of them to
bonus.
tell
I
you.
think awesome commies down there in Italy.
In Italy, really?
Yeah.
Have you been looking forward to coming to Australia?
Yeah, of course.
Do you know much about us so far?
None, except that my stepfather's brother lives here with his family,
All right.
close to Melbourne. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
where.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen him in years, since I was a child.
Mm-hmm. Jeff, ever since I mentioned on the show earlier today that you'd been beyond, we've had calls from a lot of listeners who are very keen to talk to you. Is that cool? If we take some calls, will you talk to some listeners?
Mm-hmm.
Good on you. You know the number, dear listener, 1-800-021-060.
Japan.
He's going to talk to you about Japan. I was wondering, Jeff, if you've ever been pressured to change your style to conform a bit more, or to punch out a few little quick 3-minute pop songs.
Never.
Never?
Well,
Not by record companies or managers or people? No.
I've had debates about edits, which I despise.
You despise editing your songs?
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah.
Which is why...
So you have been pressured then to shorten them a bit and make them sort of conform to the usual sort of pop
I thought
song
you meant
formula.
like writing them.
No. I
Yeah,
mean,
just like in any way? Oh, yeah, hell yes. For radio?
Yeah.
Usually radio on a large scale in America has no cojones. You know what I mean?
No what?
Balls. They have no bollocks. You see, and they need to.
You can say balls here.
Balls.
We can cope.
Anyway, it's it's just very commercialized and compartmentalized, and a DJ takes a look at a song and it says 5 minutes. This is the thinking. I mean, I've never seen it happen. I always say, okay, yeah, here's the edit. I hate it. We'll put the real version on, and they usually end up playing the real version. I mean, who wants to play an amputee when you can have the whole body?
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. That's a crappy, easy sacrifice I've made, but I won't make it anymore. I've learned my lesson. But no, on the whole, no. I just do what I do.
It's such an epic style. The songs are like kind of short stories. They go from one place to another with light and shade and almost different chapters. I was wondering if you ever feel confined by this genre, by the genre of pop music.
No.
No.
I feel confined if I'm like stuffed with it day after day, but I have my own record collection. I also think that my writing has been epic because the thing that you described, like that whole light and shade, like within one song, it's probably because I don't know how to write songs.
What, you mean the sort of formula songs?
Yeah, well, I think on the next album you'll see my emphasizing other areas of songs, how they work.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not so. I don't know. Well, those songs are the way I feel. You know, Grace is pretty accurate.
So what are you saying? There's going to be some punk on the next album or something like that?
No, not at all. No. That well, you know, that's my punk rock. If I can be so pretentious. But
what, he says, pointing to the album Grace.
Yeah.
But it's not. I mean, I saw you do almost punk rock on stage last night.
We just play Kick Out the Jams. MC5, that was punk before punk was punk.
It's a great concert. You range from one extreme to the other. It's fantastic. Is that intentional, or is that just all expression needing to get out of you?
Both. Well, you know, I don't know, really.
Japan.
Ancient.
We got some listeners on the line. Jeff, do you want to talk to some?
Yeah.
Okay. Susanna has a question for you. Hi, Susanna.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well.
Good morning, Susanna. Hiya.
I'm well. How are you? Welcome to Australia.
Thank you.
I'm actually starting a course through the Open University here, and one of the assignments I've got is a concert review, and I thought I might like to review you.
Oh.
One of the questions is we have to try and work out your genre, and I believe you're just talking about that. But listening to your album, seems like you've got a overall central theme. Would you say that?
Yeah. Probably. I don't know, if you asked the yobs that were in the back of the house last night, probably degenerate art fag chamber core.
That's quite a good description, Susanna.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain that a bit more?
It's sort of, it's not quite onomatopoeia, but it's sort of self-explanatory. Well, it's rock, I guess. It's rock. It's rock. It's got, you know, 2 guitars, bass, and drums, and we just. But in that, you'd have like a total endless palette of things you can do. I guess you just call it rock.
Sort of, but it's a bit of a limp explanation.
Call it chambercore.
And you don't have any folk influences from your father, perhaps?
Not from my father.
No.
But
He's a bit.
I have other things that I garner from his experience on this earth, rather than. I mean, I don't own any of his records. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's not my kind of music, but I definitely have my favorites that he did. But folk, yes. Blues, hell yes. I don't know, give it to me, I'll tell you what
all
I
of
like.
it. Susanna, I think the word here is don't put him into any one little pigeonhole.
It's Jeff music.
It's
Jeff Buckley, yeah, exactly. It's a very original character, no doubt about it. Great. Susanna, thanks for your call.
Thanks.
See you later. Yes, I mean, I've read and I know that you don't think that you're influenced by Tim Buckley, who was your father. But look, watching your show last night, I mean, you must have it in your genes or something. There was something equally as epic and kind of epic is the word that I keep coming back to about his music and also about yours. I was gonna tell you that.
Yeah, but just never knew him.
No, I know, but it must be genetic. Do you think that's possible?
Yeah, I was born a mess.
You were born what?
A mess.
Oh.
That's true.
At Triple J around springtime, we do this poll where the listeners vote for their favourite bonking songs, you know, their favourite songs to make love to.
I got a couple.
We compile a list of the top 10. I wondered if there are any that spring to your mind, songs that you like to have on while you're doing it.
I think a really good choice is, let's see, what is it? Henrik Goretzky's Third Symphony, because it
yes.
lasts an hour.
And I think that's actually been voted for as well.
No, actually, in all seriousness, the Carl Stalling Project.
Ah, yes, the Walt Disney...
Warner Brothers cartoons. It's a real good bonking record.
Why? Because it's got all those little sound effects and sort of honks and bonks and...
Yeah.
And so, I get to the point here that Sweet Surrender and Get On Top of Me consistently make it into this top 10 list, you know. Does that surprise you? Tim Buckley songs consistently make it to the top 10 list of songs to make love to.
Interesting.
Yeah. Obviously not your preferred choice.
Not really.
Mark's got a question for you. Jeff? Hi, Mark.
How you going?
Good.
Yeah, I was just wondering if he's going to catch any Aussie bands while he's out here.
Just the one. I don't have much time, but just the ones that open up for us.
Oh, yeah, if you get a chance, go and see the Meanies. They go off.
The Meanies.
Yeah.
I heard of this band called I don't even know what they sound like. The Cruel Sea.
Cruel Sea, yeah, they're all right.
Yeah, they're great. You'd love them.
Crow Rocks. You should see them.
Good on you, Mark.
Okay, catch ya.
All the best. See you later. Kalindi. Hi.
Hi, Jeff.
Kalindi. Hello.
Are you okay? Can you cope?
Yeah. How do you start? I read that your secret influence was Robert Plant, and I'm really kind of...
Oh, that's no secret. I'm an open book on that one.
Yeah, well, how much do you think you were influenced by Robert?
Not so much by Robert Plant, but
Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin as a whole.
Which is your favourite Led Zeppelin album?
Oh, God. Probably... It's a real dead neck and neck between Four and Physical Graffiti.
Mm-hmm.
But they just, I can't help it. Just like the Beatles and Hendrix and Soundtrack to Funny Girl, it just sort of infested my childhood.
And you can't get over it.
Yeah, well, I have. But I just, I don't know, they hit on something amazing. It changed the face of rock forever.
Yeah, change the face of rock forever.
This alternative thing's not so alternative, is it? When you look at it.
Kalindi.
It's all Zeppelin, man.
Kalindi.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Oh, here. I'm at Wetherill Park.
Wetherill Park. Where's that, in Sydney?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for your call.
Okay.
But
Bye.
She was thrilled. Kate, hi.
Hi, I just wanted to say hi to Jeff.
hi, Kate.
How are you?
I'm good.
Just wanted to say how much I really enjoyed your concert last night. It's like one of the best concerts I've ever been to. Just the atmosphere, and it wasn't like a production. It was just like full on the whole time, and the songs are just fantastic.
Thanks.
Kate?
Yeah, we all had a really amazing time together.
Kate, were you down the front or up the back?
It's pretty close down the front.
And so was I, and then I ran up the back for a while, and there were these guys
I
up...
saw Helen and you guys run up the back.
Oh, I didn't actually see Helen there at all. But anyway, Kate, I noticed these guys up the back who couldn't quite cope when Jeff's doing a sort of quiet bit,
Yeah,
They're going, oh, where's the rock sort of thing.
They maybe shouldn't have been there, but...
It's in your head, mate.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I understand people. I get lots of flack for like not being not rocking or not being hard or whatever, and who's ever standard of rocking there is, but
yeah, I mean, everyone's got their different preference, but
that's true.
you
But
shouldn't spoil it for everyone else.
nah, I don't.
No.
I don't. Because you get both. And some songs that are very quiet, I don't care who you are, you need to be. It takes a real man, a real woman to sing them.
Yeah,
And that's
I have
what
to
I
say it's the first concert I've ever been to where everyone's been dead silent.
Except the Yobs up the back, yeah.
Exactly.
Who couldn't quite
Don't give
cope.
them any more airtime.
But I think I think you're a very brave performer.
They're cool. I mean, like, Yobs are cool. You gotta have everybody in the house. It's not a gig without them.
Hey, see you, Kate.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for your
Bye,
call.
Kate.
Bye.
We might talk to one more listener. This is Stuart. G'day, Stuart.
Hello, Jeff.
Hi, Stuart.
How you doing?
I'm good.
That's good. I was just ringing up to ask you because a whole group of friends and I, we really enjoyed your album, and we really sort of look into some of the lyrics that you write, which have been great. But one song that has really got us stumped is Eternal Life. Can you clarify that song at all?
Okay. Eternal Life is now on my trail. Got my red glitter coffin, just need one last nail, while all these ugly gentlemen play out their foolish games. There's a flaming red horizon that screams our names. What do you want to know, though? I mean, like, which one?
Well, you see, it's just a really weird song.
Oh, what is it, you mean?
It's Eternal Life.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, yeah, this is interesting. I was living in a small apartment, small-ass apartment, in Hollywood, and there's no windows. I was like in a cell. It was a cheap one. And, I don't know, it was just my mind, I was thinking too much again, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was imagining, I don't know, I was just getting worked up and very angry and very upset with nobody to talk to about how people can go through life and set up a life, or just do nothing. And from all sides, somewhere, there'll be these forces coming in on them to totally, like, wreck them, cripple them, thwart them. Presidents, killers, policemen, criminals of all sides, of all kinds. And just I was just thinking, that is this life so? What is it? There's life beyond this. I've always grown up to believe. And I also pointed it at politicians and televangelists and all kinds of mystic politicians like that.
Yeah,
It's just basically messing with people from a desk or from behind a very safe place with some sort of false. I can't even think. You know what I'm saying? Bullshit.
Yeah, I understand.
All right, and I just thought that if it's just a message for people that if you really think that snuffing out joy and snuffing out innocence is where it's at in this life, it's over for you already.
Yeah, well, I sort of thought, because of that line, tell me where is the love in what your prophet has said, that there would be something about televangelists in that.